What's up YouTube, Pilot 83 here. So today let's talk about Captain Sim's lineup of 777s on Microsoft Flight Simulator. Ever since I posted the video of doing the cool landing footage from within the cabin of the 777, many have came to me and asked me, is the 777 worth buying? How do I feel about it? What's my opinion? What is this they hear that the plane is scammy? Can I touch on that? So I decided tonight I would make a video and just kind of go over everything and say my opinion about the plane, and also give y'all a review of the plane by one of my favorite sites that I follow, FS Elite, who reviewed Captain Sim. So as you see here in front of us, we have the 777-300ER. This is the only one I have by Captain Sim. As you see, it is a gorgeous aircraft cosmetically. Probably the most detailed and best looking plane in the sim, and it has plenty of liveries. They all look great. And the inside of the plane looks even better. So let's also look at the other two. So there's two more on Xbox. There is three more. Well, there's a total of 4 on PC and a total of 3 on Xbox within the marketplace. So let's go real quick and look at the other two. So the first one right here we have, this is the 777 freighter that Captain Sim did. It has the opening cargo door right there. It is $19.99. Beautiful aircraft as well. You see the entire inside right here. You can go all in there, I'm sure, just like you can with the cabin. Has a few cargo liveries that go with it. Growing number of free liveries available online for PC users. Ace is not included. Has an animated cargo door. Wing flex. 4K ultra high resolution. Alright, let's look at the other one. Okay, and right here we have the 777-200ER. This one is $30. Also another beautiful craft, as you see inside right here. These pictures of inside the cockpit. The plane looks absolutely gorgeous. The attention to detail, I mean, it's nothing short of amazing looking inside and outside. And this one has another cabin that you can go inside, as you see right here. It is freaking huge in there. So this here is how I was able to go in the cabin, because these airlines or airliners right here, these jetliners, have these cabins. I know a lot of people were kind of confused on how I went into the cabin. Some thought every airliner had a cabin you could go into in the sim, and I should have explained that when I did that video, that only some do. The default ones do not. The Concorde coming out will have one. So we see how it looks. We know it looks really good. So y'all are wondering, why is the plane scammy? So let me touch on that real quick. So if you go up here and you read, there's something very interesting you'll notice. It says essential functionality paired with default 747 systems simulation. Alright. So first, before I talk about any of my opinion, I want to read to y'all the review that FS Elite gave, because I think they do a really good job in reviewing Captain Sim, and then from there we'll look at the plane and I'll tell y'all how I personally feel. So it says, so when a new long-haul aircraft for a new and modern sim is released, there's bound to be measurable hype That hype, however, can lead to false hope and ultimately make people feel like they were cheated out of their money. I'm not suggesting or saying that this product is a scam, but it certainly has the hallmarks of a desperate release designed purely to make money. In simple terms, the product is simply a model for the 777-200 base pack. To be honest, the model itself does look really good. On the outside, there's plenty of attention to detail that certainly shines when flying through the visual delight that is Microsoft Flight Simulator. The use of PBR is excellent, and the sun shining on the fuselage adds a great level of realism. It certainly looks the part, and Captain Sim has done a good job in providing a great looking plane. The level of detail is perhaps even greater on the inside. The cockpit has a number of visual features that actually do impress. There's really nice material usage, and the way the light reflects off the surfaces looks very realistic. Decals and other little details are present, and even the panel lighting looks great. It's just so depressing that visually this looks excellent, but everything else just doesn't work. Click spots for simple cockpit elements, seatbelt signs, for example, don't work, and very little in the cockpit can be interacted with. Only basic functions seem to work to an acceptable level, but the experience feels clunky and unintuitive. While I am impressed by the cockpit and general modeling, there's clearly some inheritance from the Prepar 3D modeling already made by Captain Sim. Some elements feel low in resolution, and more polygons could have been used to make certain areas more detailed, but in general, I was somewhat happy with it. It's certainly not the best cockpit representation I've seen, but it's functional. It's just disappointing that there's actually a lot to like with the cockpit visually, that everything else about the aircraft makes me not want to fly it. As with past products, Captain Sim has included a comprehensive virtual cabin. While some simmers would rather do away with this feature, it's a nice touch. That makes those long-haul flights that more exciting. The 777 is known for its lengthy flights, and as such, airliners have opted for various cabin configurations. Captain Sim has recognized that and included various classes throughout the plane. It's really neat to pan the camera through the aircraft and explore passenger areas, from the economy class to the toilets. There's plenty to see. You can set up numerous views and leave the plane in the cruise and experience the flight from a passenger's perspective pretty realistically, just like I did in that video. It says, I think what Captain Sim has offered here, though, is a passenger simulation rather than a simulation of the aircraft. Once you're airborne, the flight stays somewhat stable, and you're able to watch the world go by from some great wing views. I've seen plenty of memes lately of people watching flights through the washing machine windows for great effect, and this is a similar experience. I was quite happy watching the world go by with the wing view, but that's the extent of my enjoyment with the aircraft. Everything else about the aircraft is simply rushed, broken, and not ready for any kind of release. While Captain Sim is clear that they have reused the 747 systems, that doesn't excuse the laziness by the developers to not even make the systems look or feel like the 777. Take the main FS for example. This clearly uses the 747 display and information with total disregard for how the actual 777 FS looks. The information is also totally inaccurate and not representative of the actual aircraft. It's fair that Captain Sim is not selling this as a true-to-life aircraft, but there is no excuse to put any effort for a $30 product. All is not totally lost, as you can at least use the default FMC to program your flight to travel from A to B, so if you're used to flying the 747, then you'll be just fine here. In fact, they didn't even bother to change the aircraft type in the FMS, as it still clearly shows 747-8. For newcomers, this is good news, but again, just a total lazy attempt at bringing a 777 to the simulator. I'm sure Captain Sim will quickly blame the quality of SDK or find another way to spin this, and quite simply, it won't wash with me. There really isn't much more to talk about with regards to systems. None of the functionality included is new or can't be found in the default 747. There's no fly-by-wire implementations, no simulated features, and no special features like onboard EFB to control fuel or other elements as we've seen with other aircraft as of late. While some may argue that using the 747 system isn't a big deal since they want to fly from A to B with disregard on how the plane should work, Borrowing things fundamentally means there are numerous inconsistencies with displays. For example, the 777 doesn't have 10 degrees of flaps, which is modeled correctly in the cockpit. However, the display will indicate this is what has been selected. Another example of this is on the ND. When selecting the range, the lowest distance you can select is 10 nautical miles. However, the range on your display will actually be a quarter mile, which is what the 747-8's lowest setting is. It's simply disgusting that issues like these were plainly ignored for the sake of releasing something to make a quick buck. In addition to borrowing the 747 systems, Captain Sim has clearly borrowed the entire sound model and flight modeling of the aircraft too. It behaves just as the floaty default 747 and includes the same GEX engine sound setup as the included aircraft. This really does drive home the fact that this plane was simply a model of a 777 with some fancy texturing. So, in general, I have no issues with a developer using default systems, but from the release we have seen from major developers so far shows there's some form of effort. Captain Sim has made no attempt to bring some kind of 777-like systems to the aircraft. It doesn't appear to have any intention of updating the aircraft to do so. There is one other area where Captain Sim has done a relatively decent job, and that is with performance. Perhaps more a byproduct of the lack of system depth, but there is a limited impact of frame rate drop with the aircraft. So on those long haul journeys to big airports, you'll get a relatively smooth simulator. Again, it's not a huge bonus point for them, but it's nice to, again, sit in the cabin and experience a good performance as the world passes below. Make no mistake, Captain Sim is completely aware of what they're offering here. They know that this model is visually pleasing and will entice unsuspecting newcomers to the hobby to splash out on this add-on to simply have the aircraft of this type in the simulator. I can already predict there will be next to nothing in terms of updates to the plane to bring it up to decent standard. In fact, they already have a number of expansion packs planned. If history repeats itself, these add-ons will require the base pack, meaning someone who buys a visual model of all three could be spending a lot of money. $29.99 is a complete ripoff, even if you are looking simply for a nice model. If you're going to be quickly if you're looking for a nice model, you're going to be quickly let down. So that is from FS Elite, and I think they do a really good job on explaining that. So I wanted to read that to y'all so y'all could get a better understanding, just in case I personally missed something in explaining. So now I'm going to take out mine. We'll go through it, and I'll tell y'all my opinion as we go through on how I feel about the plane personally. See y'all in a minute. Okay guys, so here we are. We are in the 777-200ER. So, as you can tell, the plane looks really good inside. It looks amazing, to be honest. It looks really good. The attention to detail is just great. I fully give it that. I mean, the pencil, the pen there, the seats, the captain hat over there, the binders, the other hat right there. It looks really, really good. There's just a lot of stuff. The headphones, you see another boom mic headset up there, emergency escape rope. You see all these neat little features. But like they were saying, a lot of stuff doesn't work. Now, some stuff has actually been updated since this plane came out. There has been some things. But real quick, so you'll see right here what they're talking about with the FMC system right here. The FMS. The right here it says model 747-8I. Even though we are in the 777. So that there is what they were talking about. This fully works. Not gonna have any issue with that. This used to show 4 engines. That was fixed. It just shows 2 now. So that was fixed. So basically everything that works in the 747 also works in this plane, and that's pretty much it. There's no no added bonus or anything like that. So, see, making sure everything on here works good. Okay, all those buttons appear to be accessible. Over here, you'll see. Go down some. So the seatbelt light was fixed. The seatbelt light now works. The no smoking, though, does not. So that actually does not work in this plane. All the startup stuff works. These don't work. Those work. Those don't work. Those don't work. So a lot of stuff, like they were saying, don't work. All right. What they were talking about the range, you'll see right here where this says is on 10 miles. Right here you'll see where it actually shows a quarter mile. I've seen the tiller move on its own, so that works. Let's take a look in the cabin real quick, let y'all see that. So as you see in here, y'all guys can already tell it. I mean, it looks amazing. This is what I did the video in. I mean, there's just a lot of detail. There's 7-Up, Coca-Cola, apple juice. I got the go box wrapped up in tin foil. Got all this stuff. The seats look really good. Got the Time magazine right there with Albert Einstein on it. You got these display screens at work. You got magazines right here. And you can go all the way to the back. There's another food area back there. You got Forbes. So, like I said, it looks amazing. And out the windows, everything that's going on, you will actually see like the moving of the ailerons, flaps going down, engine speeded up or something on. You can see all that from the window. So, let's talk about flight model and how I feel about all that. Well, let's go outside actually first. Let me show you the outside of the plane. So, you see the outside of the plane here. The plane looks really, really good outside as well. I mean, it is a beautiful plane. It really is. So what's going on here? I mean, there is a lot of attention to detail. It looks really, really good. And you can actually see people inside, even though they're standing up, like they're leaving. We don't see them sit down. The Concorde will have people in it, but also the windshield wipers don't work either. But okay, so the plane does feel like the 747 when you fly it. So there has been some improvements I've noticed in the plane. I'm not sure what all has been done in the flight model. My personal opinion, I think the plane flies good. It don't fly great. It flies just like the 747, the default 747 does. So it's not great, it's not bad, but I think it's good. It's decent. The longest flight I've done in the sim was in this plane. I flew this plane for I believe 10 hours, and everything worked fine the whole way. No issue with autopilot or anything. The plane worked really well. Like I said, all the basic features work. The plane visually looks amazing. My only gripe that I have is the price point. So he is honest on the plane being basically with a 747 and a 777 shell, so he is upfront about it. So I do give him credit for being honest. But I can see where, like FS Elite said, it's kind of a money grabbing point. So I don't mind the plane having the 747 flight model, because the plane does fly decent. It is fun to fly. It has great liveries. The airplane looks great, but the plane is very basic though. Like I said, what I don't like is the price point. If this plane was $10, if all three of them were $10, I could live with that price, just because they put so much into the attention of detail. At that point, I think I personally could look away from it being the 747 and the 777 shell and it having just the basic functions and all that. I could be like, okay, it's not a big deal. This plane's $10. For $10, you're getting a really good looking plane that has a decent flight model. But when you're paying $20, $25, and that one, the 200 is $30, I think at that point that's just outrageous, because you're just buying a fancy livery in a cabin. Everything else is just the 747, the sound and everything. So that is my honest opinion. If y'all really want to experience the cabin, then I say buy one. The plane, like I said, you can have fun with it. I think it's decent to fly. It is not by any means a complex aircraft, but neither is the 747 in the sim, the default one. But it can be fun, and like I said, it is really neat, and I've got some real good footage from this plane. But that's just how I feel about it. I think it should be $10. If it ever, like I said, I still debate sometimes on buying the freighter, just because it's probably the only one we're going to have for a while, at least until the release of the PMDG 737, which I'm not positive if there's going to be a freighter version right off at the release date for it. I hope there is. But I love cargo planes. But some more things have been made to work in the plane. I've heard, I'm not sure what all has, but this is super simple to work if we're used to the 747. This is just very good. The FMC here is just super easy to use. Everything on autopilot seems to work just fine. I've never had any issues with the autopilot. If you're used to flying the 747, you're going to have no problem flying this plane. But yeah, my honest opinion is I just think the price is outrageous for what you're getting. The plane does look absolutely amazing, but I don't like the price. But guys, y'all let me know how y'all feel. Let me know if you have the plane, how y'all feel about it. Let me know if y'all don't have it, if you're thinking about getting it, or if you have any questions, guys, just let me know. Just thought I'd give y'all my opinion on it, and also read y'all a review from a really good site that has a very good reputation. But as always, guys, I am Pilot 83, and I hope to see y'all guys in the air. Until next time, guys, fly together, stand together. Peace. If you made it this far, thank you so much. If you like this video and you feel like I earned your subscription, please hit that subscribe button and that like button so you don't miss out. Until next time, guys, see you in the air.